We are back again. This shall be our final race in the worldwide's first tuk-tuk tournament happening at GauntletCon 2018. We have seen races in Houston, the cradle of the Gauntlet, in Miami. Then we went to Venice, to Prague, and we have been in Newcastle, Australia, the home of our well-known big artist, Lou Quaid. And now we are at the place where I live, at Lago Atitlan, Guatemala. Lago Atitlan is on 1,600 meters altitude, so it's a perfect place for marathon runners to practice. We are surrounded by 3 scenic volcanoes, and Lago Atitlan itself is actually the crater of a volcano, a gigantic volcano with 300 meters deep and 10 kilometers times 12 kilometers large. So wonderful place for a tuk-tuk race. In real life, you wouldn't like to go on a tuk-tuk race, at least not by night, because they are real bandits here. And they could catch you and take your tuk-tuk away. However, nobody would dare to take your tuk-tuks away because you're world famous. And nobody will make fun of you or do anything to you because they just want to sign something and then they let you go. So I'm very happy to have 4 tuk-tukeros and tuk-tukeras with me today for this race. And so I would like to ask you to introduce yourself. First of all, we have a returning player, but not a returning, or maybe a returning tuk-tuk driver. We will learn. John, can you tell us who you are playing? Yeah, maybe you unmute yourself first.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Goodwill Hunting. I'm coming down from Boston, and I'm gonna kick your ass. Yeah.
You're still updating this on the sheet, I guess, yeah? Goodwill Hunting. Sounds good. Marco, can you tell us who you are playing?
Yes, my name is Karl-Heinz. I'm a dropout from Cologne, and I just came over and invested heavily in a new tuk-tuk, and I'm out to make myself a name in tuk-tuk running, and so getting famous all over the world. And I'll kick your ass.
More ass kicking, very good. Dean, who are you playing?
It's Bethany. She is a woman of color with a bald head and with a Triforce from Zelda on it. And because she has a red dot and it's shaped like a strawberry on her forehead, or everybody said berry to her. And she's really new to this, but she likes to repair things, especially cars, and so she built her own tuk-tuk and give it a try.
Good. And Tim, what is smelling here?
Grüezi miteinander. My name is Colonel Emmental. I am from Switzerland, and I am famous for my Swiss-colored tuk-tuk, and which is running its engine on whey. And yes, I came here to eat some Ricola and kick your tuk-tuk asses, and I'm all out of Ricola.
Ricola!
You say it runs on whey, like cheese whey?
Exactly.
Wow. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that gives perfect raclette. Thank you very much. Good to have you together. Now, we are close to getting to the starting line for all of you. And John, don't forget to mute yourself. I don't know if you see that in the chat, but Control D or Command D, if you have an Apple, is your friend. Thank you. So, the starting line. Before we go to the starting line, shortly before, we all need to see you doing preparation. And I want to know how your tuk-tuk driver prepares for the race. This can be a flashback to your youth. This can be a cosmic event leading to you participating here. This can also simply you being in front of the mirror and preparing your makeup and your dress up and everything, or buying more cheese. Or just you getting ready by planting traps or anything on the road against your opponents to make sure you win the race. Anything is possible. And since we have a returning tuk-tuk driver, Goodwill Hunting, why don't we start with you telling us how you prepare? Unmute yourself first.
Prepare? Who needs to prepare? I just go down to the bar and I, kick back a few beers and, leave my tuk-tuk running outside and, I'm ready. I'm ready when you guys are. I polish it up a little bit, kick the tires, do a few math equations, and I'm good to go.
Math equations, yes. Okay. Later, after we have all learned how you prepared, we will roll dice and see how well it actually goes. So let's, as the next person, Dean, can you tell us how it goes for Bethany?
Because she loves repairing things, everything on the tuk-tuk have to be right on this. She built it so, and the tuk-tuks of the others are very interesting too. So they will walk around them, look at the things or everything they might have built on it, and polish her own tuk-tuk a little more. And because of her tuk-tuk is a cheetah on the front, it's always very fast, and everything on it is built for less air pressure on the tuk-tuk. And she will look at it. It's always right, and it's better than the other tuk-tuks.
Always right. Karl-Heinz, this is your race.
Yeah, Karl-Heinz is tuning his engine and putting lots of beer cans in the back of the tuk-tuk to get the right grip on the street. And of course, he tries one or another of these beer cans to get a feeling for his preparations. And he plans to throw the beer cans at other tuk-tuk racers when he's on the race. And then, after his preparation is finished, he tries to do some donuts on the football field of this. Oh, how it's called? Estudiado San Juan Bautista. Is that correct? You know it? Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah.
I'm doing some training courses in the stadium.
Perfect. Then we have Colonel Emmentaler also getting ready. Mountains are good.
Yes, it's a little bit like in Switzerland over here in Guatemala. Lots of mountains, and they also got some cheese here, I heard. So I try to prepare my tuk-tuk with some local spirit and mix in some of the good old Guatemalan way into my Swiss way, which I brought back all the way back from Switzerland, from home, and hope it will make some good stuff. So my tuk-tuk runs really, really fast. I also put on my old pilot cap, one of those which World War One pilots war and some pilot goggles on, and I'm listening to some good old Swiss 80s pop by Yellow, The Race, of course. This always gets me pumping and starting. And of course, well, I said before, I don't have any more Ricola, so unfortunately for you, I will win this race and kick all your asses. Even though you said you will kick our asses, but my ass will not be kicked by your feet. So prepare to be destroyed.
Yes, everybody please prepare to be destroyed, because now you pick 2d6 and you don't add anything. It's a flat roll. And because we all play a lot of PBTA in the Gauntlet, a 10 plus is a full success, 7 to 9 is a partial success, and 6 or less is a miss. That means on a full success, I will ask you how well it goes for you. On a 7 to 9, what minor thing went wrong, and 6 or less, trouble all around. You also start with flow. If you have a full success, you start with 2 flow. On a partial success, just 1 flow, and then you move your little tuk-tuk to the right position. And on a miss, no flow for you. You start at the very back of the race. Okay, so we go the other way around. Colonel Emmental, can you tell me how you rolled? How did it go for Colonel Emmental?
Not well at all. I rolled a 3. So that means your Guatemalan way is of really, really poor quality, and probably did something to my good, high quality Swiss way. So yeah, there's some trouble going on with my engine, so it does not work properly when I start the race.
Poor you, poor you. And how does it go for Karl-Heinz? I'm not dare to ask.
Better. I rolled an 8, so I started, but could be better.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much football going on. Maybe they're not so excited about a tuk-tuk turning around on their football field. Yeah, but yeah, learning about local culture is an important part of the race, right?
Yeah.
What about Barry? Bethany?
I will show you. I hope now you can't see this. It's too small. It's a 9.
9.
So I think she has a lot learned about the other tuk-tuks.
Something in specific.
To outrun them later. And I think her own tuk-tuk is shiny now because she polished it too much.
Beautiful. Yeah. Can't even watch in your direction because it's so shiny. Yes. So you can move your little tuk-tuk then on the sheet to 1 flow. Now, Goodwill Hunting. Too many math equations or too much beer?
I'm afraid.
Oh,
I'm on. I'm afraid. I'm afraid it was the latter. I did have a little too many beers, and I'm having a hard time even starting my tuk-tuk. I really don't know how it's going to go now. I'm not sure. I rolled a 5.
Oh no. No flow for you. And it doesn't look good. The local crowd is coming in and helping you, and everybody's like helping everybody here. So 10 people come in and push your tuk-tuk over the starting line. But unfortunately, they can't race all the way with you and carry you until the finishing line. That you have to do yourself. And this is what we will do now. We will now enter the race. You all go over the starting line, and we see that Karl-Heinz and Barry already have 1 flow, so they're a little bit ahead but Goodwill Hunting and Colonel Emmental with 0 flow are just shortly behind, right? It's still tight, and good news for everybody, nobody is single in the lead, because in the obstacles, it's never good if you are the first one who is challenged by an obstacle. Then you get on your dice roll, you get a -2 if you're single in the lead. Then again, you could still roll high, and it goes well, and you already have a lot of flow, so that should be fine as well. So now let's start with our returning player, that is Goodwill Hunting. Can you give us a Google Street View link and describe our first obstacle?
Actually, I was making my tuk-tuk. Could I go second and find my spot?
Yes, absolutely. We can definitely start with somebody else. Does anybody Street View map and feels comfortable describing our first obstacle? Marco, go ahead.
Karl-Heinz is ready to go. How does it work? I copy Google Map link and put it in the chat, or where do I?
Exactly. Just take the whole URL and put it in the chat.
Zack. So, as you might see, there are some tuk-tuks right at the place I put the link. Everybody on the same page? Yay. If you look around, you will notice that we are close to a soccer field, just the street, down the street. You will find the soccer field, as I mentioned. Can you give me the right pronunciation of the soccer field? Estudiado Municipal irgendwas.
Yeah, I can try that myself. Estadio Municipal de San Juan La Laguna Sololá.
Thank you. It's right behind the wall you can see next to the tuk-tuk. It's right behind these walls. And my obstacle is to get to the field, run round the field, just a soccer game going on right there. So you have to maneuver through the people without hurting anyone, and then find your way out of the field again without being hurt from anyone of the opposite soccer teams.
That sounds incredibly dangerous and difficult for the soccer players. So, who in this situation do you think of the other drivers you can't pick yourself is championed here? Who and why could they be in an advantageous position here? They get a +1 on their road. And you also need to pick somebody who is troubled here, who might have difficulties. They get a -1.
Okay. As we all know, there are no good soccer teams in Switzerland. So, so it's absolutely clear this our friend from Switzerland will get a hard time. I think John, you're from England. Yes, no?
You're muted.
He's muted. No, okay.
No. Hell no, I'm from Boston.
Boston, oh, sorry. Okay. The US team is also not so famous in soccer, I think, so I will take Barry for the bonus.
Because of Shiny.
Shiny always counts, yes.
Everything is better with Shiny.
Okay, so you all now roll 1d6, not 2d6, please, only 1d6. And the one who is championed, Barry, gets +1 on their roll, and the one who is troubled, Colonel Emmental, rolls with -1. And I want to hear your final result. And let's start with Colonel Emmental. How does it go for you? What do you roll?
Another 3, it seems.
And Barry?
Oh, sorry, it's a 2 because it's 3 minus 1, so it's 2.
I rolled a 4, no. So it's 5.
It's very good. If you have more than 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, you gain 1 flow. You can move your little tuk-tuk one forward. If you rolled less than 2, 1, 0, -1, you lose 1 flow. Let's continue and see how it goes for Karl-Heinz.
Absolutely evil luck. I prepared on this football field. Yeah, I did so much hours of training here, but I think that's exactly the problem, because the locals know me already. And when I come near to the football or to the soccer field, they throw things at me. I think what's a famous food they can throw at me?
Oh, they can.
Corn? Is that a cornfield right there?
Yeah, so it's either it's tortillas or it's guacamole. Guacamole or both.
Both. I think they will use both. So I'm full of guacamole all over my face. I can't see anything, and I crash right in the wall. Bam! No. And hundreds of beer cans splitter over the place.
Okay, so how does it go for Goodwill Hunting? And don't forget to unmute yourself first.
Hey, I rolled a 5. I'm shaking it off here. Looks like I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, maybe you have the right level of alcohol in your blood. Yeah. Well, with so many cantina, these are the bars, the cantina visitors here around you, you have many friends immediately if you're in the same vibe, right? I see that.
These guys are great down here. I love them. They're awesome.
They're all awesome. Cool. Thank you very much. Now I ask Colonel Emmental to give us an obstacle.
Okay, let me see. What else is there? I kind of lost track which city we are, actually. Santa Clara La Laguna?
Any place at the lake.
Any
place
place.
Is a place. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, this looks nice. Give me a second. I can't get it to Street View. Why is that?
If you want to take a moment there, and maybe somebody else already has a link for me.
Yeah.
I take that one, John. Okay, what is the obstacle while I start sharing this?
Okay. So we come screeching around the corner here, and we come around and we see this. I see just in the passing, my eye passing, I see a sign for a water purification plant here, and it seems fine. We turn down this little alleyway here. You know, there's some other tuk-tuks. We gotta maneuver around them and everything. But then suddenly I notice a weird kind of like a flying saucer coming down from above. and out of this door, this green door, comes like I swear these little like aliens are coming out, and they are trying to take over the water for this place and control things. I don't know what they're up to, but they don't like this race coming through at all, and they've set they seem to have some like some laser guns, and they've set them, and they're aiming them at us as we come around this corner, and yeah, it's kind of weird.
Kind of weird, yes. Especially because I live right behind the greenhouse.
Oh Jesus, man! You better watch out. These guys
with the aliens. Yes.
These guys, they look serious.
Yes. Who's championed and who is troubled in here?
Okay. Let's see. Dean, what's your character name again?
You can call her Barry.
Barry. Barry does very well in this situation because these aliens, they're kind of interested and drawn to her. I think they don't feel as much of a threat as from, I don't know, like me or some of these other guys. So you're either slipping by pretty easily, or you could even communicate with them if you want, probably. I think then not the colonel, because he's they're respecting him too. The other fella is having a hard time.
Possibly. Let's see. Barry, you all need to roll 1d6. Barry, you are alone in the lead. You may be championed in this situation with aliens. We all knew that before, sure. But you also get -2. -2 plus 1 means -1 in total for you. And Karl-Heinz, you also roll with -1. And if you could just drop the number into the chat, and then I will pick 2 of you describing how they make it over the obstacle. So we see that Karl-Heinz is doing really, really well. But for Barry and for Goodwill Hunting, it doesn't go so well. How is Colonel Emmental doing? Colonel Emmental is doing good as well. Colonel Emmental, can you describe why aliens are no threat for you?
Well, everybody knows that aliens love really good Swiss cheese. So, of course, with my tuk-tuk being all yellow and having those holes in it, which makes it really look like a giant, fast-running Swiss cheese going down the streets, yeah, they don't see it as a threat at all. So they are letting me pass and are concentrating on other stuff.
Oh, that sounds good, yes. But Barry, for you, it doesn't go well. But why? Aliens are your friends.
Yeah, they are so lovely. I have to stop and talk with them.
Oh, what did they tell you? What do they have to say to you?
Maybe they love the birthmark, the strawberry, or the Triforce on the head. That's why they come to us, because of the Triforce. It's like some secret code, and now they try to read it on my head, and that took a while.
Makes sense, absolutely. Yeah, we learned so much about alien culture here in Guatemala. Great, thank you. Now, Colonel Emmental, are you now ready for an obstacle for me, or would you prefer passing over to Barry?
No, I've got something. Hang on.
Oh. So let's see where we go. I'll share my screen again, and so you can tell me where we are.
I have to take my tuk-tuk back on the sheet, right? One step.
Talking about sheet, yeah, I hope you update your flow accordingly. So more than 3, you gain 1. Less than 2, you lose 1.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think I have to do that as well. So I just gained 1, didn't I?
You just gained 1, yes.
Yes. Yes, we Swiss people, we like to take our time. So.
I love the sign. It's just meters an hour, not kilometers. Because some smiley face is sprayed over it.
Yes. Okay. So what's the obstacle here? What do we have to pass through?
Yeah, as you can see, there's a school bus. So obviously, school's just out, and there are children everywhere on the street, and we have to be very careful not to run over the future of Guatemala.
Yeah, please be careful. Yes, I ask you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the Alpha and Omega campus there, the school we are talking about. Yes. Who is championed? Who is troubled?
I think that, well, since Dean was just distracted by Barry was distracted by the aliens, but they brought new life into her. So I think she's championed. So she's got an energy boost by talking to her alien friends. While I think my my German friend is a bit troubled.
As always. Okay. Then roll 1d6, and nobody is single in the lead, so no -2 penalty for anybody, but just +1 for Barry and -1 for Karl-Heinz. And just drop it in the chat so I see. Yeah. So we see it's Karl-Heinz is not doing so well in this race. But Barry is speeding up again. The aliens conversation is really helping. And yes, and Goodwill Hunting. Goodwill Hunting is excited because finally the headache is over. The beer has sunk in. And we see an amazing result for Colonel Emmental. His cheese is popular, as it seems. So I would ask Goodwill Hunting, why does it go so well for you today in this situation? Ass kicking, is that the way to go for school children?
Well, that's easy because kids really love me, and you know, as I go by, I see one of the guys kind of struggling with some math problems, you know, and I just kind of stop my tuk-tuk and lean out the window and give him a few pointers, and then he's like, "Hey guys, get out of the way for this guy, because he's a good guy. Let him through." And then I just put the pedal down on the metal, and then I'm out of there.
Math makes friends. Yes. Karl-Heinz, where doesn't go for you so well?
Yo, it's because of I have a great heart. I love children. And as I see them right in front of me on the streets, I give it a full break. Stop just near to the school, and yeah, try to have a good time with the children, and give them some sing-along songs from Germany, from the German Carnival, and yeah, have a party right there until the teachers come out and send me away. But I think I will stay there for at least half an hour or more.
That sounds really good. And I see that currently we have Colonel Emmental and Barry both on 2 flow in the lead, and then Goodwill Hunting has not updated his tuk-tuk yet, right? Because with this 5, you should be on 1. Perfect. And Karl-Heinz, the German daredevil, will make it. I'm sure. We'll make it. I'm very sure. So we are still missing 1 more obstacle. And this final obstacle will be presented by Dean, if I'm not mistaken. And there we go.
Yeah, here's a problem because, as you can see, there are a lot of cars in front of the street, and the street is very small. One option is to turn left, but there are people on the street, so that's a bad idea either. And so we will turn right in the gate you can see there with these numbers 1 and 2, and drive around the building. But this is private property, so we have to hurry because the people don't like that. So a lot of things in the way, and not a good way to drive through it. So we have to check some off-road skills, I think.
Yeah. And be careful with the owners, because I think Guatemala has even more handguns than the United States, and that says a lot. Oh, let's see. So who's champion here and who's troubled?
Oh, that's easy. The Daredevil is champion here. That's about the name. And I think we all have our problems with that. Maybe it's the color of the flag, I would say. The Swiss flag. It's like you can shoot on it very easily. So I think Emmental will have problems here.
-1 for the Colonel. Then we see Karl-Heinz is doing okay. And we see that Barry is doing pretty good. And Colonel Emmental is doing okay, but let's see how Goodwill Hunting is doing. Well, private property. And then this guy who is going to cantinas, which is morally highly questionable. Many people here want the cantinas to close down and reintroduce prohibition. And then there comes this guy with all these beer cans. Let's see. So, Goodwill Hunting, what is going wrong?
Those aliens had taken off most of my my tuk-tuk. They gutted the thing with their laser guns, and I mean, I'm putting up a good show. I'm trying my best, but you know, most of my mechanicals are completely shot, and you know, my shocks are gone. My windshield glass is all blown out. My main compartment is like completely fried, and I can barely see because you know, glass is in my face and stuff. And as I come through that gate, those beautiful little spiral bushes things over on the left there. I just mow through them and take them right out. And that dude sitting there by the counter, he just whips around immediately with a big 45, and he's just like aiming it right at the back of my tuk-tuk. And he shoots at me, and I swear I take one right in the ass. And then I lose control of my tuk-tuk, and I go crashing right into that, like that number 2 on the wall back there. I smash right into that. And then I'm forced to pull my tuk-tuk out and start to try to repair it and get it running again so I can get back in this goddamn race and kick your asses.
Oh wow! I see that. Yes, that's where you got your name from. Good Will Hunting, right? Yeah. Whoa, intense. So Colonel Emmental, this is my last opportunity to listen to your voice, and I will not miss it. Please tell us how it went for you.
Well, at first it seemed like the people living in that house decided indeed that the national flag of Switzerland, which is a white plus on red ground, indeed looks like it's a good thing for some target practice. But what they didn't know is that we in Switzerland all have a gun in our closet, just in case someone decided it's a good idea to invade our fine country. So, of course, I also have a gun, a rifle, in my tuk-tuk, and I just shoot back at them, which just throws them off guard, which means I gain a little bit of space and can get my back clean, so I can maneuver through or around their property without getting damaged that much. And besides, just another hole in my Swiss cheese-looking tuk-tuk doesn't matter anyway. It just adds to it.
Friends, you have reached the finishing line. Everybody had a chance to show their racing skills. My name is Rilach Mam, the old grandfather.
And there goes the connection.
No!
Right on the finishing line. Those evil Guatemalan gods of old against us and against tuk-tuk drivers.
The aliens got him.
It was planned all the time. It has to be a mystery what this is all about.
Yeah. But we are still live. Huh?
That's what they like to make us think that we are.
They're coming for us.
That was creepy.
Hey!
He has returned.
Maybe.
Yay!
But we can't hear you.
Electricity, come back! And there we are.
The connection was broken.
But this is when you talk about the gods and do something which they could interpret making fun of them. They immediately punish you.
That's what we suspected, yeah.
I will go this afternoon and give my 5 quetzales, I promise. Yeah, please, don't do that again, okay? No, he lives in the underground, so I should look down. Sorry. Yeah, wrong direction.
Aliens took your way.
Yes. So the rules of the game change again, I was mentioning. And now there comes a little poker element in here. In the following way, you want to be the first over the finishing line. So your speed decides who goes in first. You need to fix a number, which is your speed. That could be 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever. The highest number wins. You just need to pick the highest number and you have won, right? Where's the problem? The problem is that high speed means risk. The risk of crashing and not making it all over the finishing line. And to determine it, if you were too fast, you roll 2d6 plus your flow. That means, for example, for Barry, that means she can add 3. And for Goodwill Hunting, that only means he can add 0, which is a certain advantage. So we all pick a speed level and enter that into our tuk-tuk sheet at the same time. Copy it from elsewhere and just copy-paste it then at the same time. I count from 3 to 0. Highest speed wins, but afterwards you need to roll over that number, equal or over that number. Otherwise you crashed and you're not at all in the goal and you don't get any points at all. So be careful with picking a number. Is that so far understood? Am I happy to explain it again or clarify something? Do you all feel comfortable with this? Yeah, we can test it as well. Just you could already put a number there and just to see how it works, if it works. And
what's the range again of the number?
Pardon? Say it again.
What is the range again of the numbers?
Any number. You can put a 99 in there, but then you would definitely crash because you won't roll over 99, right? You can also put 1 in there, then you will definitely make it. Maybe everybody else crashes and then you win the race.
Okay.
So, yeah.
2d6 plus the speed we already have.
Plus the flow, yeah. Plus the number you have. So
1d6.
you roll with 2d6.
2d6. Ah, okay.
2d6, yeah. So you roll 2d6 plus your flow, but we do that afterwards. First, we reveal what speed everybody picked.
Okay.
Are you all ready to pick a speed that we enter that number at the same time? I don't see John's speed box highlighted. So,
Garrett, is that are we? Is this in the oh, there, I see it's in there. Got it.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Yeah. And there we put the number in. The final, your speed, which decides how fast you go, if you go too fast, if you were too slow to make it first, and so on. I think we are all ready, and I count from 3 to 1, 2, 0. 3, 2, 1, go! So we see that Karl-Heinz is the winner of this race, but only if he makes it over the finishing line. And so we want to see you roll first, Karl-Heinz, to see if you make it 10 or more. Do you make it? What did you roll? And I'm looking and, oh, that's only a 5. But you can add your flow, which is 0. Okay, you didn't make it. Karl-Heinz crashed. So it seems that Colonel Emmental is our winner. But now please roll 2d6 plus 2 to see if you make it over the finishing line. What do we get? And we get a 13. We have a winner. Colonel Emmental is first over the finishing line. Everybody is excited to see Colonel Emmental and is now asking if they can have a piece of cheese.
Free Swiss cheese for everyone.
But will we have a second or a third place? and who will go in at second place? Will it be Barry? Or will it be Good Will Hunting? Barry rolls 2d6 plus 3 and just needs to beat a 7. That's doable.
Okay, what the fuck? I wrote this.
Boxcars! Wow, you could have had speed 15. Yes. But you were careful, so you go in second place. But now we will see if Good Will Hunting will beat a 6.
Next time I have to go in cheetah mode.
Haha, yes.
Ooh.
And what did you roll? Whoa, 11. So we have an honorable third place for Good Will Hunting, coming down from Boston to raise some hell in Lago, Atitlan. Thank you very much. The race is over. The game is one more thing I would like to do. This is the end of the game moment. And at the end of the game moment, I have to tell you my little story about this game. And because I'm the facilitator, I can take this time, I would say. I will post a little link into a little text into our chat. And that is a little poem. And that's the end of a tuk-tuk race poem. And the story I want to tell you before we look at the poem in detail is that actually I like role-playing games because they are not competitive, because our world is full of competition and full of judgmental stuff, and always we are judging ourselves, and are we better, are we worse, are we good enough, do we look good enough, do we care enough for others, and so on and so forth. Everything is judged. And in role-playing games, we don't have to do that. We can just be our characters. At least that's the ideal. In this game, it's a competition, and it's about to win. So why do I do such a game? Yeah, because it's still fun, and we can still enjoy it in the way I enjoy other role-playing games. And still, this poem shall help us returning from this game with thinking about competition and what it does to ourselves. So I will ask you to read this poem one by one. I will ask you one after another. I will start, but choose the language you feel most comfortable with or which you most admire the language. And you don't have to use the words I wrote down there. You can use your own words. That's totally up to you. So I will make a start. Das Leben ist kein Wettrennen. Jeder Atemzug, den wir machen, ist eine Gelegenheit, runterzufahren. Finde Momente des Innehaltens und der Ruhe. Wir werden es alle über die Ziellinie schaffen. So, if one of you doesn't want to, just drop a line into the chat and I will not ask you to read the poem. Otherwise, I would start with John.
Life is not a race. Every breath is an opportunity to slow down, find moments of stillness. We will all make it to the finish line, regardless of what happens.
Thank you. Marco.
Life is not a race. Every breath is an opportunity to slow down. Find moments of stillness. We will all make it to the finishing line. Even if I enjoyed the race.
Thank you. Dean.
I like it in English. Life is not a race. Every breath is an opportunity to slow down. Find moments of stillness. We will all make it to the finishing line.
Thank you. And Tim.
Life is not a race. Every breath is an opportunity to slow down. Find moments of stillness. We will all make it to the finishing line.
Thank you all for playing a tuk-tuk tournament and coming, and that was a very special race for me because Guatemala is my second home now. So thank you all for coming here and spending some time in the racing streets at Lago Atitlan. I will stop the broadcasting here, and if you like, you could stay a little bit longer with me in this hangout.